They talking about Jesus. They talking about the cross. And we got to know how to discern the difference. And that's very deceiving if you ain't focused truly on Jesus Christ and really following him. You will follow that person thinking he's right. And he's an enemy of Christ. You know, Christ talked about someone preaching and pretending. They pretend, you know, so we got to know how to discern who teaching us. You know, and it's not for the head, it's for the whole body of Christ.
Amen.
Because we're in a stage now where that broad road, thousands of people in a church being deceived at one time. And it ain't just one, it's 2 or 3, 4, 5 mega churches. You know, I'm not talking about Creflo, I don't know, you know, but these are ones that they know for a fact that they have error. And the world catching on to it more than the church. That, you know, the error that's going on between God's people. And that's sad. We can't, like you always taught us, we can't follow everybody. And that's why he said, know them that labor before us. Know your life, back and front. Know you should know my life, back and front. Because you know who associating with you. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I the right spirit? Am I wrong spirit? Am I deceiving you? Am I deceiving the church? Just like in the pulpit. We got to be truly careful. Because people is deceiving people and they fall into them and flocking to them. I mean, it's something real, real serious.
You're all right.
Real serious. And it's scary.
It's a scary thing. See what people think. And this what think. You're right. This what people think. Because of the bigger congregation, the more righteous they is. That's what they think. Because we got 10,000 people, we got to be right. Because we got 40,000 people, we got to be right. But like you say, that ain't got nothing to do with crying. Got absolutely nothing to do with it. You know, what people need to start doing, they need to start watching folk fruit.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. You need to watch people fruit. And that's what they ain't watching. They just listen to what people say. And Paul talked about flattering words.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people got flattering words. I mean, it sounds like it might be right, but at the same time, it's deceiving. So you got to know the word, and you got to know the person that's bringing that word to.
Yeah.
We are in the last day. There ain't no question about it. We are in the last day. And so much stuff, so much stuff taking place, especially with the internet. And people just flock to it. Again, I have no doubt the internet is a good thing.
Yeah.
If you are handling it right.
That's right.
It's a good thing. But if you're on there just trying to get knowledge, you're on that, you're trying to get something that you think you can't get from the Bible. Or from the person in the church that teaches the word, you're going to end up being deceived.
Yeah.
Because you know what they end up in? A lot of philosophy. That's what it is. Okay.
And two, Bishop, some of the people come to know the truth about their leader. And two, he put so much fear in them, they're too afraid to walk away. Some of them being threatened.
Yeah.
You know, and so then you put fear in them. And some of them know what's going on ain't right. And they're too fearful to get out of it.
That's right. That's when you're bound. You know, you don't get bound. And it's hard to get out. When you get into a congregation, you get hooked in it. It's kind of hard to get out of it. Almost going to be like a clean. You just can't get out of it. So I tell anybody, if you're free, stay free. And be careful with people you're around. Yeah. The Bible tells us to guard our thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, when you're around people, watch what they're saying.
Yes.
You got to. And again, let me back up. There's nothing wrong with it because I goes on there, to look at certain things. And we should. There's nothing wrong with it. We got that, we got that kind of access to the internet. But we got to be careful with the internet.
That's right, Bishop.
You got to be careful.
Right.
So we are in the last day, and people are being deceived by the multitude.
Show me. Show me.
So, that's where we at.
Show me.
Okay, anybody got any more questions before we start off into the lesson, 2 Timothy? If I got any more questions before we get started, back to 2 Timothy.
And I'm finding out too, Bishop, it's a lot of these people say they really, really got it going on. They think they really got it going on, but they really don't want to know the truth.
Right.
A lot of people don't really want to know the truth.
Right.
They say they do, but they don't. And he said it'd be a great falling away from the truth. They go out to teaching of the ancient of Eve. So it's very, to be very righteous, we got to really, you know, go back to what God told us to do about the word. We got to study it daily, and we got to meditate on it so we keep our heart right. See, because meditation helps your heart get right. Because if you ever do something and never think about it, how can you get right behind it? If you ever read something and you don't contemplate on it, it never settles in your spirit. So it got to be a time when we got to set aside a time. Look here, I got to think about what we had in Bible study last night. I got to really think about it, and then when I think about it, they begin to open my heart up so I can add it to my heart. And then, you see, that's how the Holy Spirit bring it back to our remember, because we done meditated on it, and we done got it settled in our spirit. But if you don't get it settled in your spirit, that's just like we always use the old saying, that's just like pouring water on the duck's back, running straight up. Going in, old folks said that when in 1 year, went right out of it. But we got to be sure that, you know, the Bible says meditate day and night. So that means that we got to be, you know, really thinking on the things of God, really thinking on the Word of God, even as we talk to it, and then we go back and study on it. And we meditate on it. Why? So that will keep us alive. Because the Word of God is a living Word. And you got to do something to keep it alive. And meditation keeps it alive.
You got to. You got to. Before the Spirit of God called that word to come alive, I mean, you have to meditate upon it. That's what causes it to come alive. So you can read, you know, like the Old Testament is a written word, but the New Testament is a living word. But you got to meditate upon that you say. Because the New Testament is the living word. So you got to. A lot of times when I study, there's a certain time, maybe through the day, or even when I can study at night, and when I get up in the morning, I start to think, what have I studied last night? Because you just don't want just to be reading.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be reading. If you stop and start thinking, now, what did I study on last night? If the Spirit of God bring that back to your memory, what it's doing then, it rests in your spirit.
That's right.
But if you study, you say you done read something, you don't even know what you done read the next morning, or read through the day, you really just read. I mean, it really ain't gonna do you no good. You got to meditate upon it. I read an article one time, this preacher was saying that he used to just read the Bible because he thought it pleased God. He said a lot of times when I was just reading the Bible, I was just reading, and I would come to a lot of verses in the scripture. Say God told his son, it would be better if you study 1 or 2 scriptures and get an understanding. Just study all these verses of scripture, and you ain't got no understanding none of them.
Right.
That's better.
So that's the reason why he tells us to be sure we get wisdom, we get knowledge, to be sure to get some understanding of what the word is saying.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to. But you got to meditate in the scripture. What you done study. If you don't, it won't do you no good. No good. They just let eat. Oftentimes, use example, then we're gonna get into the scripture. You take a person that's trying to lose weight a lot of time, and they will just eat. And when they get through, they go to the barrel and stick the hand in the mouth. Throw it back up. What good did it do?
No.
What good did it do? I just serve not to even eat.
That's right.
Or eat something that ain't got to go, and after that, throw it back. I just do something. I get they want to get the taste of it, but what good did it do?
No.
And did no good. Same thing about the word. The word won't do you no good if you just read it and don't meditate upon it. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Let's go to 2 Timothy. Back to 2 Timothy. Who remember where we left off at? Because we was covering a lot of stuff last week. We covered a lot of things. I think we had got down to the 5th verse, from the 3rd to the 5th. Let me just read it, then we'll pick it back up in the 5th and start back down. He said, "Die therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." Did we cover it last week?
Cover that.
A good soldier. We said a good soldier is one don't give up.
That's right.
A good soldier hang in there. It don't make no difference what happened. He stayed right there. That's what a good soldier. See, anybody can be a soldier, but he didn't just say a soldier, he said a good soldier.
Right.
So we did cover that. No man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him, who have chosen him to be a soldier. What did that say? Because we're going to move kind of swiftly till we get where we want to. He said, no man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him, who have chosen him to be a soldier. That's a very powerful scripture too, that we really need to kind of zero in on. And he's talking about a soldier, but he said, no man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen to be a soldier. So what's he saying?
You know, and I believe what he's saying right there, by being entangled with himself with the affairs of this life, that means don't get caught up into the things that is, you know, just like we got finished talking about a while ago. People get caught up in the thing, they get caught up in the this, they get caught up in the that. And that's entangling yourself with the affairs of this life. And so God wants us to be free from that. He wanted us to be entangled with the word. And so that the word, in other words, he said, in other words, that because he had chosen us, he had called us to do that. And see, that's what he tells us in the latter part of the way, that we don't get entangled with the affairs of life. And see, that's what didn't happen. We brought it out last week with the church. The church that got entangled and cared with the things of this world. And they try to urge it over into the church to make it seem like it's real. But it's not the real deal. Because you can get in. I was entangled with the cares of this life, for I got to say, why do I want to still be entangled with it? When God had made me, he said, you know what he said, when you've been made free, stay free. And they told us don't be entangled with the yoke of bondage once again. I was in bondage when I was entangled with the cares of this life. So when God made us free when it got saved, so that we won't have to be entangled with that anymore. Because what we do is go back to what we just got to talk about. When we learn this word, we meditate on the word, we get some understanding of the word, we won't be caught up into these things. We'll be free from these things. And that way we'll know how to place things. Because why? Because we followed him. That we are that good soldier following after Christ. Because that's who have called us out. It's just like when you went into the service, the government called you in. Okay, that's a natural service. But when we came spiritual, God called us into this. And we ought to obey him. Just like the natural man obeyed God.
That's right. I'm going to agree with that.
Amen.
Anything else about to bring out of me? But if you know, we say the affairs of this life. Don't get entangled with the affairs of this life.
That's right.
In other words, what you're saying, I don't go back and start to get involved back up and involved with things that I was involved with before I got saved. I'm getting back entangled. One of the greatest illustrations that I like to use when I was in Vietnam. A good friend of mine, he was a soldier. Every once in a while they would give you what they call in furlough. You can go into time and you can stay for the weekend. They say 2 or 3 days, but you got to come back. So he went. This friend of mine, he was a sergeant. He went and he stayed a whole week. He didn't have but 3 days. He stayed a whole week in time in Vietnam. When he came back, they busted him. They took some of his stripes from him. Because what he did, same thing with Paul was saying, he went and started getting entangled with something that they told him not to do. So they busted him. They took some of his stripes from him. So God had told the same thing. He said, now what I done brought you out of, you don't want to go back and start getting entangled with that.
Right.
You got some people start right back and go right back entangled with things they were doing before they got saved. And they think there's nothing wrong with it. You don't go back to what you're doing when God done brought you out. He said the affairs of this life. You see what I'm saying? So when he said don't go back out there doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing around people that you know what they're doing is not right. Don't get involved.
Right.
Everybody see that?
Amen.
Any questions before we go to the next one? Okay, let's go on. But let's see, the affairs of this life that he may please him.
That's part there.
That he may please him.
Please God.
Please God.
That have chosen him.
Who have chosen to be a soldier. So you were chosen by God. So we ain't trying to please people.
No.
We're trying to please God, not people. Anytime you're trying to please people, you're right, you're messing up. You're gonna miss it when you start trying to please people. And don't kid yourself. There's a lot of people out there are people pleasers. They just want to please people. I'm gonna be honest with you, and we're moving on. If you walk in this walk with God just so you can get a pat on the back, or so somebody can call your name out, or somebody can say you is what God didn't call you to be, only thing you're doing, you set yourself up for to be deceived. God never called it to be entertained. God never called it to be popular. God didn't call it to be popular. You know, you got people, they get into ministry because I want to be popular.
Right.
Well, you're going to miss God because there's no popular people walking with God.
No.
It's just not. But that's what goes on. A lot of people, you got preachers, when they get started out, they just get started out. And what they want to preach to 10,000 people. Just get started. Just get started out. You can't even preach to 5, but you want to preach to 10,000.
10,000.
So he said, we want to please him,
That's right.
not people. Let's go ahead on. The 5th verse. If any man also strive for a master, he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. What's that saying? If any man strive for a master, he is not crowned except he strive lawfully.
I think that's in 1 Corinthians. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 9 and 25.
1 Corinthians?
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 9:25.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainty, so fight. I not as one that breatheth the air.
Go to the next one. What did the next one say?
The 26th verse.
27.
The 27.
27. Oh, but I keep under my body and bring it unto subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
You see what that's saying? Who got another translation?
Hold on a minute.
Another translation. Let's start with Brother May left off it. Started off in there. We started
26.
You started at the 26th verse.
No, I took 25th. I ain't started at 25th verse.
That's in 1 Corinthians 9.
9:25 through 27.
What do it say in the next translation? But man, you brought it out. You brought out exactly what we're looking for. We're just looking at it in another viewpoint.
Chapter 9.
25.
25 say, all athletes practice strictly self-control. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize. So I run straight to the goal with the purpose in every step that I'm not like a boxer who misses the punches. 27 says, I discipline myself. I discipline my body like the athlete training to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself be disqualified.
What Paul is saying, there's rule to the game. You know, Paul was very familiar with very because during the days of Paul, they did a lot of athletes. So Paul took a lot of parable and he put it into scripture. So in this 27 verse, he said, you got to discipline your body.
Right.
You got to keep your body under. Just like an athlete. There's no way a person can run 100 miles dash or whatever if he don't train.
That's right.
You got to train. So this is what Paul is telling them. There's rules, there's things that God said we can do and God said we can't do. There's rules. See what that happened? They people set their own rules.
That's right.
That's what that happened. So Paul is saying, in other words, every game got rules.
Right.
And so do God. God got rules. In order for us to attain, we got to put this shit, we got to this with this. The problem that a lot of people have is this.
That's right.
Amen,
Man
Bishop.
number
I agree.
one.
Huh?
Man number one.
That's the number one right. This right here will get people into trouble.
Amen.
They can't just with their body. In other words, their body's all out of whack. They're doing pretty much what they want to do.
Right.
Because they're not disciplined. If you know what Paul said, if you know what Paul said, don't let me preach to others, then myself end up being a castaway. In other words, don't let me go out there telling people how to live, and I ain't living to myself.
That's right.
And in that day, I'm going to be a castaway.
That's it.
And trust me, I think this will go happen to a lot of people.
That's it.
I'm talking about from the pulpit to the back door. They're trying to tell people how to live, but they can't live themselves.
That's it.
But you know, he said that I myself should not be a castaway. Don't let me preach to others. And then at the end, I'll be lost. You know, when I was coming along, people had that stuff they used to say, don't do as I do. Do as I say do. You know. Well, this is what Paul is saying right here. You know, sometimes it's not that they don't know.
That's it.
The thing is, they ain't gonna do it, but they're trying to tell you how to do it.
That's right.
So if you can't live it, don't preach it. If you can't live it, don't talk. This is what Paul is saying. Paul said there's rules. Okay.
And that's why I always stress it. You know, I always say, I bring it up. I know people get tired of me saying it. But that's why you got to be careful, especially leaders, you know, and saints too, even with a testimony. But if you preaching it, God is not going to test you with evil, because James talks about it. God did not test any man with evil. All evil things come from the devil. But everything that you preach and teach, you yourself is going to be tested in front of everybody to see can you handle it. If I preach about love, my love will be tested. Not in private, it will be tested in public to see can I stand. Or if I tell everybody, you know, to stand in love, I'm going to be tested in public to see. Now, if I fail that, no way that, you know, they'll let people know that I'm not living what I've been preaching or saying. And just like you preach upon healing.
Yeah.
When your body get attacked, you look at, you know, people look at that. But they see when you stand and you overcome what you're talking about, you know, you overcome what you've been through. See, you know, you came through that test. That way people say, well, this man here is true with his word. And things going on. People in the church body getting healed and stuff. You know, that's why I say you got to be careful. People just don't understand. They take that as a joke. You know, you got to be careful of what you preach and what you teach, even your testimony. Because if you're saying that you're living it or you order other people how to do it, you're gonna be tested firsthand, and the whole public gonna see. You're not gonna be done in private.
That's right. You know, you brought up a good point there. A very good point. You know, there was people saying, matter of fact, I got the word for to say, you mean to tell me Bishop was sick? Job was sick. Job was sick. And he didn't do nothing. So you got to be very, like you said, the Bible said we should first be partakers of the fruit. I'm not exempted from, I'm not a supervision from nobody. Anybody in the body of Christ is subject to the attacks of the enemy. Anybody. Anybody. And I oftentimes tell people, you know, if you have to, don't put your trust in God, keep your trust in God. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But we're going to be tested.
Yes, we are.
You know, how would I know God's a healer if I never be attacked? I tell you, God can heal, God can heal. If you look at me and say, how you know, because you ain't never been sick, how you know? You see, but when I get attacked, upon the attack of the enemy, and God bring me out, I got a testimony. I was attacked, God brought me out, He can bring you out too. That's a testimony.
Amen.
You know, like we talking about Fred Price, I'll be there with, ain't nobody. I mean, Fred Price is to me, it's head and shoulder when you start talking about teaching. If he get attacked, other folk get attacked, anybody can. The Bible says we can. That's why I tell them put on the whole armor. Anybody. But the main thing is just to know that God can bring you out. Amen. But we will, like we were just saying, we must first be partakers of the fruit. Matter of fact, you put it this way, who can go out here and plant a garden and let other folk eat out before you do?
I don't know.
You got to protect it.
Huh?
You got to be first partaker.
You gonna go out there, you gonna do all the sweat, digging the garden, putting down the fertilizer, keeping the water and all this kind of stuff. Then when they come up, you tell me, go ahead one day and, go and help yourself. No, you're gonna be first. So that's what they tell me. So we must first. We got to first be partakers of it. See what I'm saying? So we got to be very careful. I think a lot of times people don't know how to rightly divide the word. They take the word and they lump it up and they mess people up. Which further down, when we look at it, Paul talked about that. 2 means he talked about if we get into it tonight. But I don't know why people feel, well, this person, they got sick. Anybody can. Anybody can. But the thing is, matter of fact, if God thought we were going to never get sick, why did he say about Jesus Christ we was healed?
Because he knew that he was going to attack us.
He knew exactly we was going to be taken. Okay, let's go back to what we were. Let's go there. Let's go back to 2 Timothy. This 5th verse. If any man strive for a master, he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. What's that saying? He's not crowned except he strive lawfully.
That means his yes got to be yes, his no got to be no. Can't be no hidden agenda. They got to stand. Even when times get hard, you tell them, Tim, you got stand when times get hard. If you're going to take my spot, if you're going to take, what I leave behind to keep this ministry going, Jesus' ministry going, you're going to have to, there's certain things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be a man of your word. You have to say what you are. You have to do what you say. Like Paul had told them in the beginning of all his letters, he said, I preach and I teach, but after I preach and teach, that was power and demonstration. That's the only way you're going to get power and demonstration, is you got to be what you say, or you got to be what you teach, or what you preach.
That's right. That's exactly right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, I do what everybody was saying, and he said a man striving with it, but whatever God tells you to do, or whatever the word says, you do. You don't cheat to do it.
That's right.
You don't undermine to do it. You got to do it like the word says. You got to be straight. You got to do it in order, in order for people to follow you. That's why the Bible says a tree is known by the fruit that it bears. If you a good tree, you gonna bear good fruit.
That's right.
And if you are unrighteous, you gonna bear unrighteous tree, fruit. So our lives is so important to others and to the world, to our sisters and brothers, especially to the babies. I mean, we got to do it God's way. Don't add nothing. Don't take away nothing. Don't have your own ideals. You get the right way is God's way. And that's the only way we gonna get to heaven. We got to get a crown. We can't come up no other way. It ain't one way, and that's through Jesus Christ. So if we gonna be crowned at the end of the line, the very one that strived, the one that made it to the end first, was the one that he crowned.
That's right. That's right.
And that first could be in all of us, in our lives. But we can't teach one thing and live another.
That's exactly right. That's right. He said, except you strive lawfully. Now, every game got their own rules. Just say, for instance, you hit a home run. And you start around. I mean, even though you don't hit you still got to touch them base.
That's right.
You can't miss that base because that's the rule. You got to touch your base. So this is what Paul is saying. God got a rule that we got to follow.
Yeah.
You can't take basketball rule and put it with golf. You can't use golf. You can't take golf and use it with tennis. All of them got their own rule. So Paul is saying the same thing right here. He said, except in order to get a crown for God, you got to strive off. You got to pray by the game.
Yeah.
What he said.
Okay.
This Bible here said, follow the Lord's rules for doing his work.
Read that again.
Follow the Lord's rules for doing his work.
Follow the law rule doing his work. Because God got rules too. And that's what he's saying. So
That's it.
there ain't no shortcut. When it comes to the things of God, there's no shortcut.
No.
People think they can take shortcuts. There ain't no shortcut when it comes to the things of God.
Yeah.
Do everybody see that? If any man strive for a mastery, he is not crowned except he strive it lawfully. You got to do it God's way. You know that people think there are other ways to heaven, you know, without going through Christ. You know, you hear people say, oh, there's a lot of ways to get to heaven. I can find it. How many hear
They
that?
say that a lot. Nah, they say that a lot.
And there's a lot of ways. A proper preacher said this a while back, said, oh, there's a lot of different ways to get to heaven. That's why I don't care. You can have 10 people, you can have 10,000, you can have 20 people, you can have 20,000. When you start talking foolishness like that, I flip you. There ain't but one way. But they're trying to have, people trying to say, there's all kind of ways that you can get to heaven. It ain't. This way they talk, this is what Paul talking about, he says, simply strive lawfully. One thing I done found out for certain, there is no other way to heaven that you did. I mean, there's some things that God, I looked at the scripture, there's some things that God put a scepter to the roof. There's some things that God kind of wink at them scepter to the roof. But when you come to salvation, there ain't no other way.
No other way.
There ain't no other way.
But the
Through?
Jesus.
There ain't no other, according to Acts 12:4, I believe Acts 12:4, said there's neither salvation in the other. There's no other name given among men whereby we must be saved. Now, again, there's some things that God can kind of wink at, but when it comes to salvation, there ain't but one way. If you don't receive Christ, you will be lost.
That's it.
Amen.
Let's see if we can find out. I think Acts 12,
Forward to it.
Acts 4:12. So there ain't no scepter to that. You either accept Christ or you be lost. Acts 4:12. Everybody have it? Look at Acts 4:12. Paul say, neither there salvation in other. There is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Point blank.
That's it.
I mean, without that, you lost.
Yeah.
I put it this way, doctor. That's your ticket.
That's it.
That's your ticket there. Without that, you lost. I don't care however you try to get there, you lost without salvation.
That's it.
That's what Paul said. He said, there's no other way. He said, neither there's salvation in the other. For there's no other name given under heaven among men whereby we must be saved. There's no exception to that rule.
That's right.
Do everybody see that?
Praise the Lord.
And things won't bring out before we go back to where we was.
This Bible right here says like the rain, there is salvation in no one else.
No, that's right. That's right.
There is no other name in all the heaven for people to call on to save them.
That's right. That's right. There is no other name. Okay.
And that's just like the scripture back here when we went to, a lot of people are trying to get their crown unlocked. You know, they're trying to get it any other way unlocked, trying to get it their way. But this answered the whole question. And under John 3:16 on down said, you condemn, without Christ, you condemn already.
Already. That's right. That's right. You're right. And there's people trying to get around it though. They're trying to get around, you know, Christ. As you know, as the Savior. They're trying to get around. Paul was making plain right here. Said, there ain't no other name given among them. Whereby means must be saved. There ain't no other way. Again, this is your ticket to heaven. I don't care who, anybody lead you any other kind of way, you
Yes.
lost.
Lost.
Paul teaching.
Okay, let's go back to where we were. In the fifth verse, we're going to finish, but anybody see anything that's in that fifth verse we want to bring out before we go on? Okay, the sixth verse. The husband that labor must be first partakers of the fruit. Almost the same thing, but the name ain't the same. So what is that saying?
Husbandman, that's a form.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form. Husband, you know, is a form that laborers must be first partaker of the fruit. Because you got to see how is your food good enough, what you harvesting, is it good enough to sell, is it good enough to eat, is it good enough to share, you know, with somebody else. So you got to test, you know, to see, before I get, you know, before I can tell anybody about salvation, I got to test the fruit first. So I got to be saved first in order to share it with somebody else. You know, and that's just about anything. Then I know what I'm talking about. If you never taste the fruit, and I'm gonna tell you that's a good fruit. You ought to go ahead and taste that. And I don't know because I never tasted it.
That's right.
You know, so we got to be first fruit, you know, partakers of God's fruit, what He give us. Salvation, no matter what it is. To live holy, I got to know and how to live holy. I got to bear the fruits, you know, to the fruit of the Spirit in order to share with somebody else.
That's right. That's right. And Paul is saying we like a farm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying. And we look at it. Really, when Paul was writing to Timothy, when he took upon his wings, when his son, he's writing to Timothy. You know, you see further down where he said that we should show up some fruit. So what he telling Timothy? You got to be the one that sows the word. You're going to be the one sowing. So he's really talking about sowing and reaping. That's what he said. Then we're going to look at in Mark, the 4th chapter, I believe, the book of Mark. But that's what he's talking about. Do everybody see that? So really he's talking about a farm. He's talking about us, one that is sowing the word. He would tell Timothy, you are the one that's sowing the word. You like a farmer. Same thing about us. We are like farmers. When you go out there, you witness or you preach, you're sowing the word. The 4th chapter of Mark. The 4th chapter of the book of Mark. Everybody got it? Look, I'm just going to read a few verses. And this is what Paul is telling Timothy, where we just left from. He said, the first verse. And Jesus began again to teach by the seaside. And there were gathered to him great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat down in the sea. And the whole multitude was by the sea of the land. And Jesus taught them many things by parable, and said unto them in his doctrine, hearken with me, look, behold, there went out a sower to sow. Do you see that? And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell among thorny ground, where it had not much earth. And immediately it sprung up, because it had no depth of the earth. But when the sun was up, it scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and it grew up and choked out, and it yielded no fruit. And some fell among good ground, and did yield fruit, and sprung up and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100-fold. Who do you think he's talking about?
Talking about us.
Talking about who?
Believers.
He's talking about us. He's talking about us. He said, same thing where we just left from. He said, the soul sowed the word. Who sowed the word? We sowed the word. We sowed it. Now, when he talked about how it fell among different things, like among the thorn, among the rock, it's how people hear the word.
That's it.
See, everybody don't see the word the same way.
No.
Some people hear the word, I mean, they can get excited about some people hear the word like ain't nothing going on. Matter of fact, some people hear the word and say they go to sleep. While the word is being sung, they go to sleep. So, he said some brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100-fold. But God will, for every time the word is going forth, it's God will that we bring forth 100-fold. That's not the will of God, 30 or 60, 100-fold. But because the way people receive the word, some see the hard heart. He said, matter of fact, Jesus talked about, he started explaining how the word fell by some, the word fell among some, different ways that the word fell. You see what I'm saying? So we sow the word. Our job here is to sow the word.
Amen.
That's our job. How people receive it, that's them. That's all we can do. So we are the sower.
All right.
And God looks for us to do our part. The only thing we can do is just sow. That's all he talked about.
Verse 14. Explain it better.
14.
14 down. Same place we were.
Okay, 14. That's right. And the sowers sowed the word. That's us. And then he went on to explain how the word, how some people receive the word. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, and Paul, again to the Corinthians, Paul stressed that to the Corinthians too, about him and Apollos. What is it, 1 Corinthians? 3, and
What chapter?
3rd chapter, 1 Corinthians 3rd chapter.
1 Corinthians?
When Paul telling them they should be on meat now, but they're still on milk, and on down. Says on the 9th verse, the 9th and the and 11, 9 through 11. For we labor together with God, for you are God's husbandry, ye are God's building. And let us know that, we God's farmers. We go out there, we do the work. And say, according to the grace of God, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay then that is laid, for which is Jesus Christ. Basically what everybody was saying, we are God farmers. We go out and we sow the seed. You see a lot of preachers, they get upset because they be like, man, the congregation just want to listen. They just want to listen. I wore myself out, or they be like tired, they sweating, because you trying to force everybody to take what you giving them. But your message is only probably meant for one person in the whole congregation.
That's right.
You're so busy trying to get an amen or hallelujah, but you miss the point. That one person, he have 1,000 people in the congregation, but it is only meant for that one or two people in the whole congregation might get the message. It's meant for just them. But a lot of people is like, they get in their flesh, like Paul said, they get in their flesh, they trying to sow, they trying to water, and they're trying to bring up the harvest. You see what I'm saying? Either you're going to plant or you're going to water. God bring the rest of the increase of it. Like you're saying, some throw on stony rocks, some throw on, dry ground, and some hit good soil. Yeah. So that's what we said, preach the word, you just sow the seed. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, just brush yourself off and keep going.
That's right. You're right. See, further on down as we go into Timothy, you bring all that out. You're right. See, you can't force a person to be saved. You can't force a person to believe the word.
Okay.
The only thing you can do is just sow that word. It's how they receive it. That's not
It's on
what
their own heart.
you're absolutely right. But you're right. So many people think if they can't get, the church barking back up, yeah, go on, Pastor. They think they ain't doing nothing. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean a thing. Then you're right. Then you got some people that try to force folks. There ain't nobody in the house but me. Listen, we're not an entertainer.
Thank you.
We are the sow the word. That's all we do, just sow the word. The Spirit of God will do the rest.
That's right.
But what you try, like you say, some of them try to water, some of them try to plant water and grow it. You can't do that. I don't think you just can't. You just do one. Matter of fact, God told her to do one thing, sow the word. The rest of it, He do the rest. It's like a farmer. A farmer can't make no seed come up. Only thing a farmer can do is just go by the natural rule. He put the seed in the ground, he watered, and he looked. The beyond the root, he put it in the ground. He looked for. Once that seed go into the ground, you got to look for God to do the rest.
That's right.
No man can make it grow.
That's right.
No.
God does that.
That's right.
The same thing when it comes. People receiving them. Whether they receive us now, the only thing we do is just sow the word.
Amen.
Some people ain't gonna receive it because they don't like it. Even though they know you tell the truth, they're not gonna receive it no way. But we just sow the word.
Amen.
That's absolutely what you're saying. That's absolutely right. Did everybody see this?
That's true.
Let's go back to what we were. Let's pick it up in our. Did we go to the 6th verse? Yeah, okay, 7th verse. Consider what I say, and the Lord give you understanding of all things. Remember that Jesus Christ, of the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to my gospel. What did 7 and 8 verses say?
He was telling,
Now you go ahead.
consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Remember that Jesus Christ, of the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to my gospel. Right there, when he say my gospel, he doesn't mean his specific. That means that everything that he went over and studying what he seen down the line. Just like when we say my gospel, we're talking about the Bible itself. That's the fact of what he got the teaching of when he say my gospel. And he say, remember that Jesus Christ, of the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to my gospel. That let you know, this Jesus is the only way. He's the truth. Compared to what I've been teaching through Jesus, and the demonstration and power that Jesus had gave, for me to show everybody, this how you come, because Jesus is in me and I'm in him. And that's what it means by it. It don't mean like his gospel itself, because like I said, we don't have no ministry. We only minister to Jesus' ministry, God's ministry.
That's right. Okay, Bishop.
Okay, when you start talking about considering me, think about what I'm telling you. Think about what I'm telling you. And that 7th word, that first word means think about it. And then when you think about what he's saying, he said, the Lord will give you, in other words, if you think about it, that means when you're thinking on something, that means you meditating on it. And so the Lord will give you understanding of all these things. That's the only somebody can give us understanding of it. It's through by the way of the Holy Spirit. And then he go back to what he just said. He said, but remember that Jesus Christ, the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to the gospel of Jesus Christ. According to the Bible, he was raised from the dead. And he was the seed of David. Come out of the family of David.
That's right. That's right.
And he say, in other words, Paul will let him know, this is the good news what I preach to you. I preach to you about Jesus Christ and his resurrection. So you got to continue this going on. And if you don't understand it right then, the Lord will give you understanding of all these things. See, a lot of times we go over sometimes, even studying sometimes, we don't get it right then. But if we keep going over, the Lord will give us understanding to these things. And in other words, he said things, put an S on it, because there's a lot of things that we got to get some understanding to in the scripture.
Oh yeah.
Because we had yet arrived that we know everything yet. But we get it in bits and pieces on the way. Why? Because we are mature from level to level.
That's right. And he said he'll give you understanding. How many things?
All these things.
All things. All things. Not just some things. He said, I'll give you understanding of all things. That you study the word, like Bishop was saying, that you study the word and meditate on the word that we've been talking about. God will give you understanding of it. That's what he's saying. In the 8th verse, he said, remember that Jesus Christ was the seed of David, were raised from the dead according to my gospel. Now, remember that man was saying, he ain't saying that he had a gospel of his own. It wasn't his gospel. Deal with the gospel that had been given to him through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And another way, when Paul was talking about, he was saying that the seed of David, and he was saying also so many words, that Christ is going to come back And he's gonna sit on the throne of David, even in this earth. He coming back. That's what it says. Okay.
Romans 2 and 16.
Romans 2:16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, repeat exactly what you said, word for word.
Romans 2:16.
In the day when God shall judge the secrets of men by Jesus Christ, according to my gospel. Paul repeated the same thing to the Romans.
That's exactly right. With me, because he come up under the lines of David, the seed of David. He coming back to the earth. Set his kingdom upon earth. So he gonna sit on David's throne when he come back. That's what he said, the same thing that Brother Mayman read right here in that 16th verse. And in that day when God should judge the secret of men by Jesus Christ according to my gospel. The same thing he said to the church over here at Timothy. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to what we were. The 9th verse, the 9th and the 10th. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even to bone. But the word of God is not bound. Wherefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also attain salvation which is in Christ Jesus with eternal glory. What that 10th verse is saying?
That's for y'all. That's for like you, Papa, and my mama, Evangelist Michael Wayne. That's talking about the elders there, the elect, the ones that started with the new birth, the ones that been under the teaching of you longest. That don't apply to the members of the church. That's only to the elect, the elect elite. That means the pillars of the church.
Right.
That goes only for that scripture only for the pillars of the church.
Okay. Okay. How many agree with that?
Amen.
Anybody say anything that they want to bring out on that? But okay, about that.
Okay, and Bishop, go back up to the ninth when he said, when I suffer trouble as an evildoer. And what Paul was saying, he was preaching the gospel. And the world consider you as an evildoer. You know, they don't consider what God is doing in your life, most people. They want to find something on you, against you, you know, and call you an evildoer. But they let us know that we gonna suffer. We gonna suffer. Everybody ain't gonna be good at two shoes to us. Everybody's not gonna like us. Even our family ain't gonna like us, some of them. But he said he suffered. That means we gonna suffer like you had last week. You know, as an evildoer. Don't get upset because everybody don't accept what you believe in Christ. Everybody don't accept how you live, and they don't. You know, because I have been, you know, fronted like that, you know. I don't see how you live like that. I don't see how you, because of Jesus Christ. And I chose to live and obey God in that area, or whatever area it is. And he said, wherein I suffer as an evildoer, even unto bond. That means he was bound. They bound Paul up. They lied on Paul. You know, he was put in bonds, you know, and treated like, you know, he was telling God because he was sent by God. The Pharisees and scribes showed him as an evildoer. You know, and he said, but the word of God is not bound. That means we got to keep preaching the word of God, because we can't bound up God's word. And his word is not bound. His word is freedom. You know, and he said, you know, he kept on preaching, even in prison.
That's right.
Didn't stop.
That's right.
Even until his death almost, didn't stop Paul. It didn't stop. He said, therefore, I endure all things. Paul said he didn't endure some things. He had to endure all things. So we got to endure all things. What the enemy bring up against us, what the world bring up against us, you know, we got to endure. You know, like a good soldier.
That's right. That's right.
You know, like a good soldier. For the elect's sake, and Paul was saying, I endure this because of God's people.
That's right.
I've endured this for the elect's sake, that they can see me stand, even give my life, you know, for Christ. That they may also obtain salvation, they keep their salvation,
That's right.
you know, and their deliverance, which is in Christ Jesus, with eternal glory.
You're right. That's good. Okay, Bishop.
And see, that's exactly what he said. At this time, Paul was chained up.
That's right.
And because he said, and because I preach the good news, I am suffering and have been chained like a criminal. But the word of God cannot be changed.
Amen.
I am willing to endure anything if it will bring salvation and eternal life in Christ Jesus to those God has chosen. See, at that time we had to lock them down in chains. But he's still preaching the word in chains. He said because he had to reach their soul. Because God had chosen them people. And he wanted to get the message over to them.
Amen.
That's good. Anybody else? You're right. Absolutely right. He said, Paul was put in prison and treated like a criminal. He was changed.
Yes, he was.
And really what was going on, Caesar was trying to hush him, trying to silence him. So he put him in prison. He felt if I put him in prison, I silence him. I can silence those creatures by putting Paul in prison. So he was changed up in prison like he might be in a prison. And he wasn't there by himself, he was changed up to another prison.
Yes.
My thing is, and I oftentimes think about this, maybe this is my way of thinking. What happened to what's going on with this early church, with the church at our latter time, in the early church?
How?
These men suffered. Women suffered. And then man, you know, you think, Bishop, it seemed like, I asked God, is there something that we're missing? These men were, they were so sold after God. People say, don't hang me like you do Jesus, because I ain't worthy. Hang me upside down. Philip said, I ain't worthy, I'm not worthy. Just they nailed him to a desk, and that's where he died. These men died like criminals for the gospel. People that lead the church because you say something about it.
That's right, Bruce. Right.
They lead the church. They lead the church because they couldn't have their way. They lead the church and go to another church and tear that church up.
Yes.
These men weren't playing no game.
Amen.
They weren't playing. They just made up in their mind, for God I live, but for God I die. However, I'm going to live the way God tell me to live. You think about it. Peter, even Paul, and we're going to close it out. Paul, on that last letter that Paul wrote, according to tradition, Nero put the pistol in Paul's hand and said, if you renounce me, I'll let you go free. When he put the pen in Paul's hand, Paul began to write to his son, write to Timothy, his son in the ministry. He said, Timothy, you preach the word. Preach the word. He had already made up his mind. Matter of fact, before Paul began to write, you know, and he looked at ship going further in the letter, he tell about them. But Paul also was translated from one prison to another in ship. He often moved by ship. When Paul, a little before he got ready to be beheaded before Nero, Paul's head was cut off just like John the Baptist. If somebody come in today and tell you, look here and say, if you don't renounce your salvation, your head coming off, we have a clean church. Everybody gets to do just about it.
Tell the truth.
Everybody. I'm talking about one that talking about they've been walking with the Lord a long time. Them men's already done made up in their mind. I don't know what kind of moral death I'm going to have to die, but I'm going to live for Christ.
All right.
What Paul did, a little before he got ready to behead him, Paul oftentimes ship coming in and going out. When he get ready to be beheaded by Nero, Paul looked at the ship going out. He said, the time of my departure that ain't that.
Sure did.
What he said, I know where I'm getting ready to go to. My time is at hand now. I don't fight a good fight.
Yeah.
My time up. He told Timothy, you keep on preaching to Timothy. Do it in season, out of season.
Right.
Preach when they want to hear, preach when they don't want to hear. You keep preaching. And that's what we got to do. People do not want a sound doctrine today. They want some watered down something that's going to make them feel good. Tell them it's all right, because God understands. You know, everybody shut up every once in a while, but God understands. God don't understand. God don't understand about no sin.
Amen.
That's just the bottom line. These men done made up in their mind they wasn't gonna live in sin, they wasn't gonna put up with sin. They called sin by its first name. That's what we gotta do. Everybody not willing to listen further down. The Bible says we live for, other words, if we live for Christ, we should die for him.
That's right.
Your man, really, we should already be dead to this shit anyway. Our feelings should be so easily hurt. And some get on the internet, spreading it all on the internet, and all this kind of stuff. You got to be willing to die now.
Amen.
This is the time to die.
That's right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. God ain't got but a few churches standing up. Most churches bowing down. They bowing down to tradition. They bowing down to the government. They bowing down to everything. We got to stand. These men stood. And don't get me wrong. Paul was one of my the mere type of people too. Paul was very, very intelligent.
Right.
True, didn't say Paul could speak 9 different languages fluent. 9 different languages. Paul came upon the best lawyer of his days. I think it's what he is. The best lawyer of his days. Paul was one of the mere type of person. Yeah. But when he received Christ, he sold out to Christ.
So right. And that's what's happening today. People don't want to sell out.
They ain't selling out. Paul sold out, he sold out, and he had made up his mind up. I'm going all the way. We got to do the same thing. People ain't going to like you because you tell the truth.
Yeah.
They're not going to like you. But that should be all right.
That's all right.
That's all right.
You know, we ain't got a reputation. You know, we ain't got no big reputation, but that's okay. Long as we sow the word and the truth, that's all that matters to God.
Amen.
We're not trying to preach the world. We're trying to please God.
Amen.
We're going to call sin by its first name.
That's right.
Okay.
That's why I like it. That's why he say, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake.
All things.
All things for the elect's sake. That means these are only for the ones that chosen to really go out there and they can take this thing.
That's right.
They can take all this hard, what you're talking about. That's willing to stand and die for God. That's why I say like the pillars, the one, you know, because people out here now, they're not chosen. Like you said, they got all these churches that's adopting the things of the world. So he's saying that he's doing this so the elect say the one that gonna stand for God and talking about Timothy 2, they can go back and look and see what he did. Just like we doing now, we going back and see what Paul did for the leaders and everybody from the church, so they can have people to come and follow him.
That's right.
You know, they bring them to Christ. That's why I like that. He said, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. That means it's for all the ones that teaching and preaching and all the ones that really mean it's for God. He doing it for them so they can have something to fall back on, and that's the testimony.
That's right.
Paul did it, I can do it. Jesus did it,
That's right.
I can do it. And that way he can teach people like me, like the congregation, that y'all can do it too. That's why he's saying the elect. The ones that chosen.
That's exactly right.
The prophets, the apostles, the prophets, you know, all that, the chosen.
And so basically too like this, like he said many will call but few are chosen. You're talking to the very chosen ones right here.
You're right. Everything you say is right. I like you say for the elect's sake. Not for everybody, but the elect's sake. But watch the latter part of that you and Dr. Allen brought out. Watch this part. He said, I suffer all things as even do. Wait a minute, no. What word?
The 10th verse.
Wherefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. Well, man brought it out good, Dr. Allen brought it out good. But watch what it says. That they may also attain unto salvation. And this is what he said. I'm doing it for the elect's sake. I'm doing it so they can hold on. Hold deliverance. That's what it means. Because they already were saved. That word salvation means deliverance. I'm doing it for the elect's sake so they can hold on to their deliverance. Hold on to it. Not for everybody. Just for the elect's sake. That's what he's saying right here. And then we got to do the same thing. We got to preach the word for them that's sincere about God. We got to preach that they can hold on to their salvation.
Yes.
Don't get tripped up. Don't get sidetracked. Yeah. We got to hold on. So this is what Paul is saying. And our mandate is to do the same thing. He said for the elect's sake.
And then when you start talking about the elect, and then Jesus said in his own words, said, if I don't shorten the time, my very own elect will be deceived.
That's right.
That means something got to go on about the elect. You got to make sure the elect hold on to the elect. Don't go back. And see, when you holding on to something, that means you ain't gonna turn it loose. You can hang on to something and you can slip, but if you hold on to it, you ain't gonna let go.
That's exactly right. You're absolutely right. He said, if he didn't show the time, even the very elect would be something. The elect, he said, if I didn't show the time, even the very elect wouldn't be saved. So that means they're going to be false doctrine. It's going to scheme so close to the gospel that you were saying, if you ain't got to discern, you're going to be deceived.
Sure enough, sure enough.
The ones teaching, they're going to be deceived.
They're going to be deceived.
Sure will.
Bishop Biden, you had read on. He said, if I don't show the time, he said, even the very elect wouldn't be saved. Peter put it this way well. He said, judgment was going to begin at the house of God. He said, first going to begin at us. And we just scarcely be saved. Where would the ungodly and the unjust, where they going to be? Brother, what he said in the house of God? He said, if the righteous just scarcely be made. That don't mean that you will make it by a long shot. It means you just made it. So it's narrowing down, doctor. You know, people might can't see it, but this thing narrowing on down.
Yes, it is.
And as time goes, it's going to get more down. Matter of fact, Isaiah put it this way. He said it waxes, it draws darker and darker.
Sure will.
And that's where it is today. It's drawing darker and darker. All kinds of stuff. Church putting up all kind of food. You look at some stuff on the internet, don't even make sense for it to be a church. I'm looking at it, I guess about a month ago. I had to turn this off. This man, he like he was an elder gentleman too. To be honest with you, he was doing the same thing that they were doing in the nightclub. Wasn't no different. He was splitting all that kind of stuff in the church.
Yeah.
In the house of God. Do everybody see that?
Yeah.
That's what Paul is saying. You know, we don't come and tingle with the things of the world.
Yeah.
You don't come back and tingle. You don't go, all that kind of stuff you did out there in the world, you bring it back into the church.
Can't do it.
Amen. But again, it's still, and we close, that still kind of bothers me, where the church today, like the early church were in the beginning, at the beginning of the church. What had happened from then to now?
That's falling away.
Prophesied. Even Jeremiah prophesied.
Yeah.
He said, you know, he said there's gonna be Jeremiah, I think it's in 20 chapter. But Jeremiah said that there are leaders that's taking the food from the sheep. They're taking the food from the sheep. They ain't even giving them the word, and they taking everything that the sheep had. And God said that He's gonna punish them, and and God gonna take his sheep back, and He gonna feed the sheep with word. He gonna give them leaders that's really gonna show them, you know, where I come from. That I'm God, that I'm staying. The Jeremiah prophet is way before Jesus came, and they're saying Jesus prophesied it too. Gonna be that they call them false prophets. What they are now. So all that comes in, all that falls into prophecy. That's why I say the elect. That's y'all. That's the one that's actually teaching the word. They've been called by God. Not because somebody put them up there, but the ones that know that they've been called by God, the elect. The ones that God really downloading this with the Holy Spirit. So they won't be deceived. So they can keep going and fight. Because as long as y'all strong, the congregation's strong.
That's right. That's right.
Now I can talk all day, but I'm not elite because I haven't been called called to preach and teach like y'all do. Y'all been called. So y'all the elect. That's why I say everybody need to stand behind y'all. Just like when Abraham held up Moses when he was weak. We need to hold y'all up. When y'all, when the arm fell down, what Abraham did? He lifted their hand up.
That's right.
And that's how we need to do y'all. Y'all are the elites.
But you know what? Everybody ain't got to, like I oftentimes tell you, everybody ain't got the revelation you got. I wish they did. If you did, we have a strong church. We have a strong church. But everybody don't have a revelation that you got. You have some insight that a lot of even the older don't have. I'm not talking about in the body of Christ. They don't have. It seems like everybody out for themselves. Everybody trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
You see. But you got an insight. Look here. You can't go beyond the leader.
That's right.
You can't go. One good example, and we got it. One good example, when Moses got ready to go down into Egypt, Moses already told God, I can't talk plain. In other words, he studied. God said, since I called you to go into Egypt, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you my people. I'm going to send your brother out. I mean, Joshua, but if you notice something, God never did speak to Joshua. He always spoke to Moses, and Moses spoke to Aaron. He never did, because Moses was God's mouthpiece.
Amen.
That's what I'm saying. So again, you got people now, they're getting it because they can go into the concordance, and because they can put a few scriptures together, they think they're on the line, but brother, you know who got them in the head? You have. Okay, Bishop.
We got to be very careful. Woe unto the man that scatters the sheep.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know, and you can stand. You can start standing. If you notice, God said, I will bring a nation in that will, listen at this, more people ain't paying no attention. He said, I'll bring a nation in that will provoke you. If you notice, Prince, that preach on the TV, Prince, those people are very attentive to the word.
Sure is.
They said that you don't see them moving, they just sit there. God is going to bring people in, just like Prince, from another, different places, that can provoke the Christian. Them folks sit there and they're very attentive. You don't see them moving around. You don't see them, they just sit there and they just listen.
Yeah.
And if you know that all of it, they kind.
Yeah.
That's right.
God is getting ready to do something. Again, it's going to provoke the Christian, the true Christian, to rise up and be what they should be.
Praise the Lord.
Because I'm telling you right now, Prince, those people really drawn to Prince. And there's other leaders that God probably got coming in there going to do the same thing. But we done sat around as Christians. I'm talking about the body of Christ. We done played church so long that God bring other, because he said, I bring a nation in that will provoke you.
Yeah.
And he going to do that. Father, we praise you. We bless you. We honor you for the word. We thank you for what you are doing.
Thank you, Lord.
We praise you for it, Lord. We thank you that your word is forever set.
Thank you, Lord.
It's a privilege, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Search out your holy word.
Yes, Lord.
We thank you, Father. We don't count it light.